Because I remember you telling me that you grew up admiring actresses like Shabana Azmi, Smita Patil, Jaya Bachchan ji. You know,
and absolutely, and you know, Rekha.
Absolutely.
And later in life, actually, when I visited the classics, Meena Kumari and Nutan and Wahida Rehman and you know, Nargis. So I do think I've always been influenced by very strong female actors.
But at the time that you came into the movies, you know, the prevalent trend was that actresses were expected to be Barbie dolls. You know? Did that sort of make you nervous or anxious about, of course you wanted to be an actress, but where you would sort of fit in?
No, you know, sometimes I ask myself whether it was a case of beggars can't be choosers, and that's why I did Parinita. But no, I was so glad, you know, I made my debut with Parinita, because it's an extremely strong author-backed role.
True.
And I couldn't have asked for a better debut. And of course, I came in at the age of 26 when I was already a woman. And yes, there was some amount of anxiety fueled by the fact that people would say actresses' shelf lives are very, very small. And that you've already established yourself as, you know, a woman doing a womanly character. So now you should, you know, regress in age and do the more girly type. And I attempted that and I failed miserably, because also I think I'm Capricorn and I was born a woman. I'm probably reverse aging now.
That's a Capricornian trait.
Yeah, it is.
But tell me, I have of course written an entire chapter on you and your inspirational qualities. But you tell me, what is it that you think is that one quality that has kind of seen you through, you know? And got you to this position where you are?
I think my faith. And when I say faith, it's faith in myself and faith in the universe.
Yes.
You know, I believe that good things happen for most people, as long as you believe that good things happen. I've seen that, you know, when people are negative and optimistic, good things rarely happen to them. So this is, I really feel it's what you put out into the universe. The universe definitely responds.
But after, like, you know, you faced a lot of rejection, you went through really hard times, you know. How do you keep the faith in those times? Because, you know, it's easier said than done, right?
No, but you know, there were those times before I made my debut in Parinita and before my first Bengali film, Bhalo Theko, when I faced so much rejection down south. I remember there were days when I wouldn't want to get out of bed. I would feel like, you know, maybe I was not cut out to be an actor. Maybe this was a pipe dream, you know. Maybe I should give it up and do something else. And I was doing my MA simultaneously, so that, you know, I had a fallback. I had something to fall back on. But I think somewhere deep down, that desire to be an actor overpowered everything else. There was a Sai Baba Mandir close to my house in Chembur. I would go there every day. And I would sit there, and sometimes I would, at the time that I went, there was no one in the temple. And you know, I would speak loudly to Sai Baba, because I didn't think anyone was hearing. Later, of course, I heard that there were people who overheard me. But I would say, you know, why did you dangle the carrot in front of me if you weren't to give it to me? So, you know, I would cry. My sister was in Bangalore at that time, my sister and brother-in-law. And they would call me with stories. My sister particularly would call and say, you know, Amitabh Bachchan had so many flops before Zanjeer happened. You know, Madhuri Dixit's first film was a flop. All sorts of inspirational stories. My parents here, my mother and I had the toughest time because all my anger would come out at my mother, you know, which is very unfortunate. But I think sometimes that happens between mothers and daughters. There's so much angst that you express with your mother that you're unable to express with anyone else. And she would keep telling me that, you know, maybe you should look at... The anger was because she was trying to be practical for me. So she just wanted to cushion me in some way, and she would want to protect me and say, you know, maybe you should consider other things to do also. If this is meant to happen, it'll happen anyway. And I would be furious. I thought she was actually telling me that it's not going to happen for me, but poor thing, you know.
She was just like, she had your best interest in mind.
So I think prayer gave me a lot of strength at that time. And it's just that that desire to be an actor which overpowered every other feeling.
Holding on to that desire.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely,
absolutely. Even when it feels like it's not going to happen.
Yeah, and even when you feel it's the end of the road.
True.
Sometimes it's just a bend in the road. I think we all need to remember that.
You come from an extremely protective, concerned, loving family. Your sister, you tell me often is, she really took up a lot of battles for you.
Yeah.
So when you have such a protective family around you, when is that instance when you sort of come into your own, when you're faced with an incident that you have to fight for yourself and stand up for yourself? They can't help you.
No, I think when you realize that as you grow up, that they can't fight your battles. True. But what they give you is the strength.
Yeah.
I keep saying this, they allowed me to be me.
Yeah.
So to come into my own, to go through the struggles, and yet when I went back home, I always knew that I was loved and accepted unconditionally. It's not like they were judging me for the fact that, I hadn't got that first break yet and was still holding on steadfast to my dream of being an actor. So I think that's what that protectiveness does. It gives you the strength to go on despite the hurdles. I don't think they can fight battles for you.
When was that first incident when you really stood up for yourself, in your workspace?
In my workspace, I think when I said, I think it was after Kismat Connection, when I decided that, this kind of work is not for me because I suck at it. Okay. There are people who do it beautifully and effortlessly, and this is not my cup of tea.
Right.
So I started saying no to the films that required me to do that. Okay. And instead chose an Ishqiya, which a lot of people warned me against because they said, you're going to be cast opposite Nasiruddin Shah while he's one of the greatest actors alive. He's much older. It's going to therefore position you in that older bracket, and it seems like it's not your typically commercial film and all that. I didn't care.
Right.
I didn't care, and I'm so glad I didn't care, and I just reacted or responded to the actor's instinct in me.
And you did so well in that film.
Yeah, thank you.
People loved the film. People loved you in the film.
Thank you. And then what happens, Priyanka? Once you've gotten past that first hurdle, once you've taken that first step and you see success, then slowly gingerly you keep taking one step at a time. And that's how all these successes happen back to back. And they reaffirmed my faith. They validated my beliefs. And then there was no looking back.
Very early on in your career, you said no to getting your nose altered.
Yeah. I remember Vinod Chopra telling me, he said, "Itni lambi naak hai. I'll send you to LA, get it done." And I was so scared to open my mouth and say anything to him.
Right.
Because I thought, what if he threw me out of the film if I said no? I was really upset. I came away and I told Pradeep Sarkar, Dada, I said, I will not get my nose fixed. I either come with this nose or then I don't. मैं नाक कटा नहीं सकती to be an actor. So he said, नहीं, उसकी नौबत नहीं आएगी. And I don't know whether he ever brought it up or how it got resolved, but I told Dada, I can't do that. I was too scared of Vinod Chopra, but I came and told Dada what I...
Telling me you don't like cooking, but you enjoy eating.
Yes.
Has that changed after?
No, not at all. Not at all. I don't cook. I still don't cook.
Does Siddharth cook?
No, he doesn't either. So if our cook is... on chutti, then we have to order food or step out. But I remember in between when she was on chutti, I just ended up making some idlis at home. Okay. And both my mother and my father-in-law were overjoyed. They very subtly, both of them told me that, maybe you'll start taking interest. Now, one step at a time. I told my mother, listen, you've tried this for too long. It doesn't work. And I told my father-in-law also that. I said, he cooks beautifully. I said, if you cook, who'll eat if I also start cooking?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Between Siddharth and you, how did you guys meet? Like, did someone play Cupid or you just met at
I think
work?
a whole lot of things happened. So, we were both considering doing the same film.
Yeah.
And so it was a film that I was going to do with Meghna Gulzar, and she was hoping to get UTV on as a producer. So we all went to watch a play, and then we went to dinner afterward. And I thought he was a cool guy. Mm-hmm. And But nothing happened at that stage.
Okay.
And then, of course, I got invited to Karan's house once for dinner. And Karan actually tried to play Cupid.
Karan Johar played
Yeah,
Cupid.
yeah. So, you know, and I didn't even know.
Okay.
But that was the first time Karan invited me home, because we weren't really friends or anything. So I was wondering, I said, okay, but if he's invited, I should go. And I went in, and, you know, I remember not knowing too many people and feeling a bit awkward at that time. And then suddenly Siddharth walks in. I had just done No One Killed Jessica with them.
Right.
So there was some point of conversation. It started like that. We started talking about how the shoot went and everything. And I remember there was one more thing which I can't remember now. Yeah, the fact that Shujoy had taken Kahani to them.
Yes.
And he wanted UTV to produce it, and that didn't work out either. But I think one thing led to the other. So we got to know each other, and then I don't know when we started seeing each other. You know, it was one of those really, and I'm someone who's like, Subodh in Dil Chahta Hai, you know. I remember every single date, but I don't know for the life of me when we started chatting, when we started dating, and when one thing led to the other.
So I had called Siddharth up.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask a few things about it. And he said, you have some rules
Right.
of certain, like, you know, that, so did you sort of, did that come organically that you decided to, you know,
Not
have
work
some rules to just, because you're in the same profession and
Yeah,
a very
yeah.
public life.
Yeah. So first of all, after we got married, we decided we're not going to work together ever again.
Okay.
After Ghanchakar, because when Ghanchakar didn't work, I held myself responsible for the longest time. I felt, you know, if it was bad enough that one of my films hadn't worked, now, you know, we shared that
Yes.
low. So it's something that I don't want to go through again. Also, I think it's just healthier for the marriage. Then there are some other things. He's a very shy person,
Okay.
and I'm the absolute opposite. So he's a not shy person in terms of everything else, but when it comes to talking about relationship, marriage, etc., I see him turn crimson, you know. I love it. I love the embarrassment. People tell me, you know, when we bring you up with him, he's like, he just said, oh, she's fine or whatever, and he just slinks out of there. So I try and embarrass him a lot of times, but I just think it's better that way also. That of course happens organically to him, and I end up talking about him a lot, but I try not to say too many things.
Well, that's a smart thing to, you know, to have some sort of rules between you. I think every relationship kind of needs that once in a while.
Right, absolutely.
Yeah.
I think you have to say, especially as a public figure, I feel, you know, and because he's not an actor, he is not liable to be open about, not that I am, but you know, I am that sort of person who talks very easily and everything, but I have to respect the fact that I'm the actor, not him.
Yeah.
And he wants to keep things private, and I respect that. Similarly about my family, you know, because they're all like people who have their own lives, and I must respect that.
Yeah. Between you and him, I also heard that shoes and slippers are not allowed in the house. What's that?
You know, I come from a South Indian family. In our houses, chappals are not allowed. And I've seen in a lot of North Indian houses, I guess also because in the north it's cold, so people don't walk bare feet on the floor. But I told him, I said, you know, I'm very finicky about him walking into the house with the same set of slippers that he's worn outside. So initially when I tell him, he'd say, but you know, it's okay. And I'd say, and he'd also tell me, you can't expect guests to take their footwear off outside. When he's not at home, I still do it. I hope he doesn't watch this interview. But when, you know, I made sure that he wears another set of slippers at home. It's still, I can't wear slippers at home even now.
Yeah.
I find it damn difficult. You know, wherever I go, there are times when people say, I take my footwear off outside a house.
Yeah.
And then people have to say, and then of course now, when you go to these film parties and all, you realize that's, you know, no one takes their footwear off outside. The other thing is because I hate wearing footwear. अगर मैं नंगे पैर हर जगह चल सकती तो मैं चलती.
Yeah. One of the things that you really enjoy is poetry, right?
Yes.
So can you like sort of describe your state of mind by reciting a line of poetry?
My God, you know, I'm not that sort of.
No?
No. I don't write, firstly.
Sure.
I'm not a poetess. I appreciate good poetry, and
Any
Gulzar
poetry
Saab
from
is
someone
my.
else's poetry also that describes your state of mind?
Actually, these are two lines that I can use wherever I want to. They're lines written by Meena Kumari. I heard it in a CD titled I Write, I Recite. I'm talking about films when I say this, or about acting. आगाज तो होता है, आगाज is beginning. आगाज तो होता है, अंजाम नहीं होता, जब मेरी कहानी में वो नाम नहीं होता. I love it.
It's a lovely line.
Yeah, it is.